Give me 15 minutes and I'll show you exactly how one of my students went from zero to building his own Section 8 real estate empire, meaning government guaranteed rent from day one. And no, this isn't just some make-believe story, this is Nick. He bought a $72,000 house in Birmingham, Alabama, rehabbed it for $8,000, and now the government pays him $1,250 a month guaranteed every month like clockwork. But here's what nobody's talking about, the exact step-by-step system that he used to make this all happen, because most people think you need hundreds of thousands of dollars or years of experience to start building a real estate portfolio. You don't, you just need the right playbook. I'm Joseph, a licensed realtor and Section 8 investor, making $30K a month gross in passive income, and in the next 15 minutes I'm breaking down the complete system so you can copy it yourself. So now you know a complete beginner can build a real estate empire. The craziest part of all of this is that this isn't just a one-off lucky story. This is a repeatable system that regular people are using right now with as little as $20,000. Before I show you the numbers, I need to show you where Nick actually started. Because this is the part that's going to hit you differently if you're probably thinking right now, oh, that's not me, I'm not ready. Nick is a data analyst. He's in his mid-30s, lives in Georgia, super smart guy, analytical, the kind of person who should be great at real estate investing, but he wasn't doing anything. He had $100K sitting in a bank account. He knew what Section 8 was, he'd watched the videos, he'd done the research, and he still just wasn't making a move. Why is this? Well, there are 3 reasons. Number 1, he didn't know how to analyze deals. Number 2, he didn't understand Section 8 enough to be confident in what he was doing. And number 3, he didn't have the team that he needed. No realtor, no contractor, no lender, nobody on the ground. So he just waited and watched other people buy properties while his money sat getting 3% APR. That right there is called analysis paralysis. And it's the number 1 thing that kills real estate investors before bad deals ever will. Here's what I did as soon as Nick teamed up with me. And this is going to sound almost too simple, but stay with me because this is going to be the thing that changed everything for him. I forced him to run numbers every single day. Not perfect numbers, not, oh, I need to analyze 200 properties before I'm ready type of numbers. Just, here's a property, here's the spreadsheet I made, run it. Do it again tomorrow, do it again the day after as well. And then I made him commit to making at least 1 offer per week. Not 1 offer when he felt he was ready or he had free time. 1 offer per week, period, or I'd kick him out. And then I checked in with him daily, saying, did you do what you said you were going to do, yes or no? That's really it. Because here is the truth, Nick did not have an information problem. He had a commitment problem. Once I forced him to go through property number 1, and he saw with his own eyes that this strategy actually works, then something clicked in here. The limiting belief shattered, and after that he stopped hesitating and started investing a lot more aggressively. That really is what unlocks your potential, not some secret strategy, not a magic house, just proof that it works by doing at least 1 deal and having someone hold you accountable until that happens. All right, let's get into the actual numbers because that's where all this gets real. Property number 1 bought in Birmingham, Alabama. Purchase price was $72,500 all in cash, similar to the house on screen now. I actually told him that he didn't need to use cash. He could have used my private money lender that I give to my mentorship students and only put 10% down, but he said he didn't want to pay the few thousand in lender fees. In my opinion, I still say he probably should have done private money, but to each their own. I mean, he could have bought probably 5x the amount of houses if he used private money. Or the reverse, started with a lot less money. I mean, I've seen students start with $20,000. Anyways, rehab costs ended up being $8,000. Closing costs brought the total invested to about $83,000. And the Section 8 rent was $1,250 a month, every single month, guaranteed by the government. So after expenses such as taxes, insurance, maintenance reserves, Nick is netting roughly $900 a month on this single property. Now let me show you exactly how we found a deal like this, because I want to prove to you that this is entirely possible and it's not just some type of dream. I'm going to pull up Deal Finder AI. This is basically Zillow that I built for Section 8 investors specifically. It pulls turnkey properties, runs the cash flow analysis automatically, and shows the FMR rates tied directly to HUD. So sorting by Birmingham, Alabama, single family residences, all under 90,000. Let's go ahead and just click the very first one that we see. $85,000, how's the interior? The interior, oh my God, that is gorgeous. That's nicer than my house. Estimated cash flow, $244 a month. Again, this is assuming you have a mortgage on it. IRR of almost 19%, rent to price ratio of 1.31, looking pretty good. It's only a 2-bed, so that's why the rents are a little bit lower. Yep, the cash flow calculator is estimating the rent to only be $1,100, which if this was a 3-bed, it'd probably be $1,350. But Deal Finder AI tells you the total expenses and lets you change pretty much any single number you want. Also shows you the crime rate on spotcrime.com. It's going to load here in a second. And there it is. Mixed feelings about there being so much crime on the same street, so maybe that would be the deterrent here. But at least it is not the cash flow. It looks pretty good on this deal. Again, that took what, 5 seconds to find? And just goes to show that these deals are pretty common. Click the link in the description for a 7-day free trial of this website. This is the tool that I give to every single one of my mentorship students. It cuts weeks of research down to seconds. But finding the deal is admittedly only step 1. What Nick did next is where a lot of investors completely blow it. By the way, if you want to ask me questions about this strategy live, I do free Section 8 masterclasses every single Friday inside of my free school community. There's over 1,700 investors in there right now. It's completely free to join, so click the link in the description right now. So Nick has the deal under contract for $72,500 in Birmingham. Now comes the part that scares a lot of out-of-state investors more than anything else, which is the rehab. So Nick's in Georgia. He has never met the contractor in person. He's never even set foot inside of the house. And he's about to wire $8,000 to a stranger to fix it up. Here's exactly how we handled it and how you should too. This was just a light rehab. Paint, flooring, some minor repairs, making sure everything passes the Section 8 inspection, nothing crazy. But here's what Nick did correctly that most beginners don't. He got 3 quotes. One from my contractor network that I gave him through the mentorship, one from the realtor themselves that recommended their contractor, and one more from Facebook. He just joined some investors in Birmingham Facebook groups. He compared them and picked the best value, not the cheapest, the best value, and tied every payment to a milestone. He usually did 30 or 50% upfront, and then the rest in increments as long as work was being completed and proof was being given in the form of photos or videos. Oh, also make sure all these contractors are licensed. That's pretty important. After the rehab finished in 4 days, the property was ready for Section 8 and passed the inspection on the first try. That's the system. It's not complicated. It just requires having the right contacts and knowing what to ask for. Once the rehab was done, Nick listed the property on affordablehousing.com and Zillow. Within the first 12 hours, he had Section 8 applicants. He screened them using RentSpree, which checks your background, eviction history references, and selected what he thought was the best tenant. It only took 5 days to take down the listing. Isn't that crazy? The tenant submitted their voucher packet, the housing authority scheduled the inspection, and it passed. The HAP contract got signed. And then on the first of the month, the government direct deposited $1,250 directly into Nick's account. I remember he called me that day and he was like, "Joseph, I cannot believe that this worked. Let's immediately go for property number 2. That right there was when the limiting belief just died, because now it's not theory, it's a deposit. It actually happened, it's real. And here's also where Nick's story gets way more interesting, because after property 1, he did not stop there, he sped up. Property number 2, $85,000 purchase price, $5,000 in rehab, $93,000 total invested, Section 8 rented for $1,350 a month, meaning he nets about $900 a month. Property number 3, this one was a heavy burr. $62,000 purchase price, $11,000 in rehab, a total of $73K invested and rented to Section 8 for $1,300 a month. His cash flow was about $1,000. Property 4, $85K purchase price, $7,000 rehab, so he invested $92,000 in total. It's not rented yet because he just bought it, but it's projected to go for $1,300 a month and again netting $900. So 4 properties, all cash purchases, all in Birmingham, all Section 8. And here's the move that he's going to make to completely change his financial picture. He's going to refinance all 4 properties at 80% LTV and refi them into DSCR loans, which are basically investor loans. That means he's going to pull out the majority of his capital, recycle it, and then use it to buy 4 more properties all at once. This is the BRRRR strategy to a T. Buy it, rehab it, rent it out, refinance, and repeat. And with Section 8, you're doing it with government guaranteed rent for every single property. Now, I do want to talk about the mistakes because Nick made some, and if you're going to copy this system, you need to know what went wrong so you don't repeat it. The biggest mistake Nick made, in my opinion, was going all cash on every property without planning the refinance timeline from day 1. He had $100,000. He bought property 1 all in cash. Great, but then he had to partner up for the remaining 3 properties. And this was all because he didn't really plan what to do after he bought the property and how to recycle his cash. Now, I did tell him to refi from the beginning, but he still had a little bit of worry in his system, so he held off. And partnering isn't a disaster, it's a legitimate strategy, but it did add complexity and slowed him down. The lesson really here is that if you're going for the all cash BRRRR route, you should have your DSCR lender ready to go, refi as soon as you get a tenant in place. That way you know exactly when you're getting your money back so that you can plan the next purchase. And again, he didn't even need to buy these in cash. He could have used a private money lender that I provide to my mentorship students and bought 5 to 10 properties all at once instead. The second mistake was underestimating the rehab costs on property number 3. He originally budgeted $8,000, but it actually ended up being $11,000. So a $3,000 cost overrun. It's not catastrophic, but it did eat a little bit into the projected returns for the first few months. How do you avoid that? Well, get 3 quotes. On this one specifically, he only did 1, and skip that due diligence. What you guys can also do is add a 10% buffer to whatever your contractor tells you. And for anything over $5,000 in work, get a licensed contractor, don't just give it to a handyman. Let me give you the full picture of where Nick stands today, because I want you guys to see this clearly. Again, I don't gatekeep any info, I'm not trying to hide anything. He has 4 properties, all Section 8, combined rent is $5,200 a month. Net cash flow after all expenses across all 4 is $3,700 a month. Again, he has no mortgage. So his total cash invested is about $341,000. So here's what happens after he's going to refinance at 80% loan to value ratio. The 4 properties combined have an ARV after repair value of about $380 to $400K. So he's going to pull out roughly $300,000. That's almost his original investment back, and he still owns the 4 properties with 20% equity in each. All still collecting Section 8 rent, all still cash flowing. The only annoying part is that he will have to pay about $10,000 in refinance fees. But that still does mean he only spent $51,000 to buy 4 homes. That's fantastic. And that really goes to show the power of the BRRRR strategy combined with Section 8. You're not just building cash flow, you're recycling capital and building equity one door at a time. Here's the thing I want you to take away from Nick's story, and I really want you guys to hear this. 6 months ago, Nick was a data analyst in Georgia with $100,000 in the bank and 0 properties. He was scared, paralyzed, and almost didn't do it at all. Today, he owns 4 rentals, all Section 8, generating almost $4,000 a month in net passive income, and he's about to refinance and buy 4 more. The difference between Nick 6 months ago and Nick today, it isn't some secret market. It isn't even really the money. Plenty of people have 100K sitting in a savings account and do nothing. Plenty of people have 20K and do phenomenal. The difference is he committed to a system, he had someone to hold him accountable, and he took action before he felt, oh, I need to know everything. That's it. That's the whole thing. If you're sitting there right now with capital saved up, a decent credit score, and a goal of building passive income, you're in the exact same position Nick was 6 months ago. The only question is whether you're going to actually do something about it. So if you're sitting here wondering if this could actually work for you, check out the video on screen now, where I break down the exact system my students such as Daniel used to go from 0 properties to cash flowing rentals with the government paying him every single month, all with as little as $25,000. As always, I'm Joseph Khateri. Have a nice day.